Hi everyone, Cheryl here from Love and Light Yoga, and today I have a practice for you which is going to be very much focused on the lower half of the body, and especially in through our hips. So it is a hip opening sequence. It's going to be very low to the ground, so we're going to be spending most of the time quite low down here on our mats. You won't need anything at all for this, just yourself and your mat. So if you are ready, let's begin. So we're going to get started today seated on our mats, and if we can, we are going to bring soles of the feet together. So soles of the feet are coming together. We're going to let the knees gently drop out towards the sides of the mat. And it's up to you whether you want to have the soles of the feet quite close into the body, or maybe if you're only getting warmed up, maybe we're not quite there yet, maybe we can keep the feet a little bit further away. And just to start to waken up through the body, we're going to link up our movement with our breath. So we're going to take a nice full inhale in through the nose. We reach the arms up nice and high, bring the palms together at the top, and exhale, hands down through heart center. And again, we inhale, we reach up nice and tall through the arms, palms come together, and exhale, hands down through heart center. One last time, nice big inhale in through the nose, reach those hands up high, palms together, exhale, palms down through heart center. And we're going to drop the hands down to take hold of either the fronts of the legs, maybe the ankles, maybe around the feet or the toes. And we're just going to sit nice and tall. So gain some length in through the spine, let those knees drop out towards the side of the mat. Take a big inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to start to hinge ourselves forward, coming into our forward fold here. So just take a few deep breaths here. Continue to allow those knees to drift down towards the mat. We're going to start to feel a nice big opening in through the inner thighs. Lots of space being created in through the lower back. Can we relax the upper body, the shoulders, the head? Take a nice big inhale. Full exhale. And then nice and slowly come back up to center. Drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Feel a nice big stretch through the left hand side of the neck. Come back up to center with the head. This time dropping the left ear towards the left shoulder. Stretching in through the right hand side of the neck this time. And then maybe sending it into a few little half neck circles here. Just starting to warm up through the neck, taking a little bit of time to work out any little areas of tightness in the neck. Let's go one more time each side, just roll it around nice and gently. And then let's come back up to center with the head. We're going to release the feet or the toes. And we're all going to meet in our tabletop position. So on our all fours, hands and knees. So coming onto our hands and our knees, we just want to make sure that we have the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're in nice alignments. Fingertips are spread nice and wide. And then we're just going to bring a little bit of movement in through our spine. So we inhale to look forward, open up the chest, tailbone points up, cow pose. As we exhale, tuck the chin into the chest, tailbone points down, hug the belly button up towards the spine, cat. And again, we inhale to come forward, roll the shoulders back, drop the belly. Exhale, chin to chest, round the upper back. Inhale, come forward, open the chest, belly drops. Exhale, chin to chest, arch the upper back. We'll just take a few more of these just in time with your own breath. Inhaling to come forward, exhaling to press it under. Just inviting as much movement as we can through our spine, through our bodies, wakening everything up. Wherever we are, let's take one more full round of breaths. One nice big inhale, a full exhale. And then we can all meet back in our tabletop with a nice neutral spine. We're going to think about moving through the legs and through the joints in the legs now, so thinking about the hips and the knees. We're going to start with the right leg by just stretching the right leg out and away. We can tuck the toes under behind and really press the heel away. So think about pressing the heel towards the back of the mat, feeling a nice big opening in through the back of the hamstring. And then before we do anything at all, I want you to switch on your core. So think about pulling your tummy button back towards your spine. We're going to feel the core begin to switch on. And then can we maybe lift that right leg? Can we point the toe away? Maybe it lifts a little bit. Maybe it lifts up in line with our hip. And then we're going to find a little bit of movement. So we're going to think about bending the right knee out towards the side and bringing it up as if we were trying to touch our elbow with the knee. And then take it away. So we're bending it up, taking it forward, stretching it away, trying to stay nice and steady through the hands, nice and steady with the body. And then can we start to link up the movement with the breath? Can we inhale to take the knee forward, exhale to send it out. Inhale, forward, exhale, take it away. One more time, we inhale, knee up to elbow, exhale to take it away. We're going to bend the knee, let it come on up, only this time we're going to continue to let the right foot come up and we're going to take it onto the outside of the right hand. So we're going to find our lizard posture here. So if we're here and it's feeling a little bit too much already, we can stay here, we can stay up on fingertips, giving us a little bit more height. If we are feeling good and we want a bit of a bigger stretch, we're going to come down to the palms of the hands and maybe start to walk the left knee back. So the more we walk that left knee back, the more the hips are going to drop towards the floor. We're going to find our lizard pose. So maybe we begin to find a little rock side to side with the hips here. Just initially starting to feel that opening, noticing how it feels in through our hips. If we are rocking and we start to find a little bit more space in the body, maybe we come down to one elbow, so maybe the left elbow drops. Maybe we come down to both elbows. And then maybe we roll that right knee out towards the side, so we are essentially coming on to the outside edge of our foot here. Find your position and then just take a few deep breaths. Really think about letting that knee drift out towards the side. Think about softening in through the right thigh, in through the right glute muscles. And just breathe, never holding the breath here. Take one more nice big inhale. Take a full exhale. And then let's release. Let's bring sole of the foot back to the mat. We're going to come back up onto the hands or the fingertips if the back knee was walked out. We're going to scooch it in a little bit and we're going to bring the right knee back to meet the left. We'll take a quick child's pose here. So knees are together. Toes are together, knees are apart. Sit the bum back towards the heels. Stretch your arms out long and then just find your child's pose here. Taking a few deep breaths in your child's pose. Just sending your awareness down to your lower body, noticing how you're feeling. Does one side feel a little bit more stretched than the other? Do we feel a little bit off balance? Noticing how the rest of the body feels. We'll take one more full cycle of breath here. So a nice big inhale, followed by your exhale. And then we can release ourselves back up to our tabletop. We know where we're going now, so we're going to do that little sequence on the other side. So this time it is the left leg. We're just going to make sure that we have wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and then we're going to send the left leg away. We can tuck the toes under and again just really press the heel away towards the back of the room. So we want to feel a nice big stretch in through the left hamstrings here, really stretching out that leg. And then before we do anything, switch on your core. So activate your core muscles, feel your tummy button pulling back towards your spine, almost like you were trying to suck everything up. And then maybe we stay here, or maybe we start to lift the left leg, point the toe away, maybe it lifts a little, or maybe it lifts up and in line with our hip. Breathing deeply here, keeping nice and engaged, pressing firmly through the hands, and can we find a little bit of movement? So again, we're going to open that left knee out towards the side of the room. We're going to bring it nice and high, trying to touch towards the elbow, and then straighten it out, send it away. Again, bend at the knee, bring it up, bring it forward, trying to touch that elbow, and send it away. Can we start to link up our movement with our breath? So can we inhale as we take the leg away, exhale as we bring it forward towards the elbow. Keep breathing, keep moving. Feeling that nice big opening of the left hip. Wherever we are, let's take one more. Exhale to bring it in. Inhale to take the leg away. And then we're going to bend the knee back up towards the elbow, and we continue to let the foot travel up, and we're going to place it onto the outside of the left hand. We're going to find our pigeon pose on this side. So bear in mind that this side could feel completely different from your other. So just because you got to one level on the other side doesn't mean you're going to get there here. So if you're here, we can be up on fingertips. We can keep it quite high if this is where we are at today. Or maybe we plant the palms down to the mat. Maybe we start to walk the right knee back. So essentially dropping those hips a little bit closer towards the floor. Can we find a little rock here? So we're just rocking those hips from one side to the other. Letting everything open out nice and gently, not forcing anything, not pushing. Just a nice gentle rock, side to side. And then bringing the hips back to center. Then we're going to find where we want to be. So maybe this is where we want to be. This is where we want to stay. Maybe we drop down to one elbow. So maybe the right elbow comes onto the mat. Maybe we come down to both elbows. And then maybe we open that left knee out towards the left hand side of the room. We're rolling on to the pinky toe side of the left foot here. And we are breathing. Again, think about softening in through the left hip, in through the left thigh. Let that knee drift a little bit closer out to the side. Let's take a nice big inhale here. Take a full exhale. And then to release, we roll the sole of the foot back to the floor. Come back up to the hands. If the right knee was out, we can scooch it in a little bit, which is going to help us release the left knee back to meet the right. And we will find one more child's pose. So toes together, knees apart, sit your bum back, stretch your arms out long and relax your forehead down. Take a few deep breaths here. Reset. Notice your breath. Notice if we've started to lose the breath a little bit. If we have, just allow the breath to lengthen out here, taking slightly longer inhales, deeper exhales. Just allowing your breath and your heart rate to both slow down. We take one more full cycle of breath. And after your exhale, we're going to press ourselves back up to tabletop, but we are not going to be here for very long. We're just passing through. We're going to be coming up into a downward facing dog. So we're going to spread the fingertips nice and wide on the mat. Tuck the toes underneath behind. We're going to start to send the hips back. Press nice and strong in through the hands. Start to lift the hips, send them back. Downward facing dog here. Breathing, releasing any tension out of the neck, letting your head hang nice and heavy. Feeling that nice big stretch in through the backs of the legs here. If we want, we can walk the dog by bending one knee at a time. Just stretching it out, walking it out. And then coming back to stillness. We're going to find a little bit of a hip opener here. So again, we're bringing our attention back to our right leg, and we're going to see if we can start to lift the right leg off the mat. Again, it may lift a little, or we may be able to lift it up nice and high. We're going to think about bending the knee here. So almost like we were trying to get our heel as close to our bum as we can. And then we're going to stack the hips. So we're going to think as if we were trying to point that knee up towards the sky. We are stacking our right hip on top of our left hip. Nice big opening for the hips. Press that heel towards the bum. Take a nice big inhale. Full exhale. And then untwist your hips back to center. We're going to start to come forward on the hands, so almost like a plank with the right leg lifted. And we're going to find our pigeon pose here. So we're going to open the lower leg out towards the side, so the right toes are pointing out towards the left hand side of the mat. And we're going to place the lower half of the leg down onto the floor. We're going to start to send the hips back. Left leg comes long across the floor, and we are going to find our pigeon pose. So we have the right foot somewhere towards the left hand side of the mat, and where it comes to is just totally dependent upon your body. You may find that your heel is a little bit closer in towards your groin, or you may find that you might be able to bring that lower half of the leg on more of a parallel with the top of the mat. But it doesn't really matter. It looks a little bit like this, and we're going to feel a nice big opening in through the outer side of the hip, opening out through the right glute muscles here. We're going to stay on fingertips, and we're going to find a little rock from side to side. So just like we did in our lizard, just nice and easy and gently, just rocking those hips from side to side, just feeling a nice opening. Let's come back to center. And then you decide whether you want to stay here on your fingertips, or maybe you want to drop down to the elbows. Or maybe we want to fold the arms in front of us, rest the forehead down onto the hands. Take a few deep breaths. Really relax your hips here. Our tendency is to hold on, so we're probably holding on to all the muscles in through the right hip, in through the glute. We want to actively release those muscles. So with every exhale, think about releasing all of those muscles. Let's take one more full breath here. So a nice big inhale, full exhale. And then nice and slowly begin to lift the gaze. Maybe we return back to our fingertips. And we are going to come out of our pigeon and go straight back into our downward facing dog. So to do that, we are going to scooch the left knee in a little bit. We're going to tuck the toes under, lift the left knee off the floor. We're going to really power up through those arms, through the core. We're going to start to lift the right knee. We're going to send it back into a full plank, and then press in through the hands, send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Taking a few deep breaths here. Again, if we need to, we can walk out our dog here, bending one knee at a time, pressing each heel towards the mat. And then coming back to stillness, and we're going to find our little hip opener on this side. So again, we are taking our awareness this time into the left leg. We're going to really press in through the hands, start to lift the left toes. Maybe they come a little bit off the mat, or maybe we can lift them up nice and high. If it's lifted nice and high, we're going to bend the knee, almost like if you're trying to kick yourself on the bum. We're trying to bring our heel as close to our bum as we can. And then we're going to open the hip out towards the side. So think about bringing the knee up towards the sky. Keep your heel nice and close towards your bum. You're stacking your left hip on top of your right hip. Take a nice big inhale. Full exhale. And then we're going to untwist ourselves. We are going to keep the knee up and we're going to start to bring the weight forward on our hands. So again, we're in this high plank with the left knee lifted. We're going to open the lower half of the leg out towards the side and then place it down on the floor. So we have our left foot pointing somewhere out towards the right hand side of the mat. We're going to drop the right knee and then maybe start to send the hips down. Pigeon pose on this side. So again, just decide for you where you want your foot to be. So maybe the foot is quite close in towards the body, or maybe on this side you're a little bit more open. Maybe you can walk it out a little bit more. Wherever we are, we're going to stay on our fingertips or bring the hands to the floor and just find that little rock of the hips. So just gently swaying the hips from side to side, starting to feel that stretch in through the left hip and through the left glute muscles. Noticing if you can start to relax into it here, so almost like you were shimmying your hips a little bit closer towards the mat. We come back to stillness. And then for our last few breaths, we can choose to either stay here. Maybe we drop down to the elbows. Maybe we fold the arms and rest the head down. Wherever you are and whatever your pigeon pose looks like for you, breathe into that left hip. Breathe into your left thigh. Breathe into your left glutes, and as you exhale, think about releasing all of the tension out of those muscles. Just breathe here. Let's take one more nice big inhale. Full exhale, and then nice and slowly begin to peel yourself back up off the floor, coming back onto our hands, and we are going to come out of our pigeon pose the same way as we did before, back and into a downward facing dog. So we're going to bring the right knee in a little bit, tuck the toes under and lift the knee off the floor. We're going to power up through the arms, through the core. We're going to lift the left knee. And we're going to see if we can send it back into our high plank. Start to lift the hips, send them back. Downward facing dog, our last downward facing dog of this practice. So take a few deep breaths here. Find movement if you need to. Maybe bend one knee at a time. Maybe bend and stretch both knees. Take one more full cycle of breaths, one nice big inhale, followed by your exhale. And then we can slowly and mindfully begin to lower the knees back to the floor. Sit your bum back onto your heels and take one more child's pose. Not here for very long, just a few breaths. After your next exhale, we're going to slowly start to lift the gaze. We're going to walk the hands back towards the knees, and we're going to find ourselves in a kneeling position. So we're going to sit our bums back onto our mats, and we're going to bring the legs out in front of us. We're going to keep soles of the feet on the floor with the knees bent up, and we're going to find our little figure four stretch here. So what we are going to do, we'll go with the right leg first. We're going to keep the sole of the left foot on the floor, and we're going to start to lift the right knee. We're going to let the right knee point out towards the right hand side of the room. We're going to bring the ankle on top of the left knee, and so that it's creating this little figure 4 shape here. We can bring the hands out onto the hips, behind the hips, and then just lean back slightly. So breathing into it here, we want to think about pressing that right knee out towards the side, and if it helps you to physically press the knee out towards the side, you can do that. If it's feeling a little bit too much, you can walk the left knee away, or if you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can bring the left foot closer towards the body. Keep the right toes flexed back towards the knee, protecting the ankle joint here. Take a few deep breaths. And then after your next exhale, we can walk the left foot away a little bit. We can release the sole of the right foot back to the floor, and we're going to find the same stretch on the other side. So this time we're just going to pick up the left foot. We're going to let the knee open out towards the left hand side. We're going to bring the ankle on top of the right knee. Again, find that little figure 4 shape with the legs. We can come on to the hands here. Relax your upper body back a little bit, and then again keep those left toes flexed back towards the knee. A few deep breaths. You decide where you want to be. Do you maybe need to walk that right foot away a little bit, or do you want to walk it closer in towards the body? So the closer it is in towards the body, the more intense the stretch is going to be. If we want, we can use our hand here to gently press the left knee out towards the left hand side. You don't have to, it's only an option wherever you are. Take a few deep inhales and exhales. After your next exhale, we can release, we can walk the right foot away a little bit, we can release the left foot down, and we're going to come back and into our cross-legged. We're going to finish off the practice just how we started. So as we inhale, we're going to reach the fingertips up towards the sky, let the palms come together at the top, and exhale, hands down to heart center. And namaste, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed that stretch, and I hope you are feeling nice and loose through your hips and through the lower half of your body. If you like that practice, please like it. If you want to see more like this, please subscribe. And whatever you are getting up to for the rest of your day, I hope you have a fantastic one. Bye bye and namaste.